Hello, and welcome back to Dead Space 3 with a Fisco.
Hoi!
And a whole bunch of dead aliens.
Oh, yeah.
And also Fisco.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we finally got the codex because Carver decided to play engineer and plumb up an explosive when I was reading something. And it didn't turn out well.
It's not... The timer didn't work right. That's not my fault. That's a faulty charge.
Ah, so the babies do come from them.
Lovely.
At least we can hear them coming!
Yeah. I wonder if the babies are some version of how they procreate, or if that's strictly a necro thing, because we did see both cases with humans.
Yeah. I can hear it.
That's
in
the
there.
way forward. Is that the optional mission?
Hopefully. Well, if that's not the way forward, let's go that way.
Yep.
Let's go that way.
You know what? Since it's the last episode, I'll do this.
Some of our brightest archaeologists and soldiers. What happened to them down here has served as a cautionary tale to us all. What drove them to such extreme behavior, to such depravity and violence? I have sequestered their bodies in the staging compound. There I hope to find answers, not only to their demise, but to the workings of the artifact they discovered in the depths.
Okay.
You ready for the irony, Leg? The one I did was right, down, right, down, right.
I hate you so much. The one time you have to milk a machine, it's easy.
That's not as bad as when I was playing single player to catch up in the Impossible campaign I'm running by myself. If it was upper left, upper left, upper left. It was like, what?
There was one, and I think it was in an optional mission, where the timing was so fucking ridiculous that I think that was the one time that I failed it, where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it was stupid fast.
Yeah. Beyond that, they're kind of no-brainers.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a lot faster with the workbench because I only need to deal with my inventory. I know there's nothing else I can do to my weapons to make them more powerful.
So this is everything they were staging, and that's oh god.
That's not a typical human one, but that doesn't look like an alien one either. Wait, what the fuck?
That looks like one of the regenerators to me.
He was shivering.
Yeah, but not entirely.
The self-inflicted wounds carved deep into his skin. The
That
meaning of
explains
which I
the
can only
carving.
speculate. I had to work to pry the artifact from his cold, white hand. A curious object made of an unknown material, activated, it seems, by sound. The markings are words, that I'm sure of, but without a means of translating them, I'm afraid its purpose will remain a mystery. If only there were more time, I could find other examples of the script
Good job.
here and unlock it.
Is
there an artifact right here that he's talking about?
I think he's talking about this body. I don't know if he took the artifact somewhere else. But the thing is, you'd think that anything they carved would translate to their harmonic language. Thing is, the stuff that we carved when we went insane are alphabetical. They're literally, they can correspond from A to Z. So there was no way that we were going to figure out what's carved on these ones without a lot of study.
We were slowly learning. Well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
we were slowly learning their language. Eventually, we could have, but it would take so goddamn long.
Yeah. So even with them trying to give us a shortcut, there wasn't enough time with what the marker can do. Here's a text log.
It was on the floor.
Yep. Personal log, Dr. Earl Serrano. I think that's most of the stuff down here. The deep dig survivors refuse to speak. Whether this is willing or the result of trauma they observed is uncertain. They continue to draw strange symbols on any surface they can find, and when no other surface is available, they use their own skin. After persistent inquiries as to what they were doing, one of them finally turned to me and spoke. "We witnessed the truth," he said, "and so will you." This last bit he screamed as he came at me with a utility knife. Thankfully, I managed to scramble away. It took several soldiers to subdue him before he could be taken to a more secure holding area. Also, you have to realize, and this is the thing they should have found really strange. If the aliens were writing in their language and we were writing in a different language from theirs, then why was that? If we had the same signal in our brains?
Because I think the signal still has to go through a form of translating. My bot came back.
No, mine did too. No, I understand that, but that seems suspicious to me.
Well, it makes me wonder if the way the carrier signal works, if the correlation between their marker language and our marker language would actually be able to give us the insight to the true marker alien's language. Because that's going to be different from the first two. Yeah. And then there's going to be the marker version of the marker creator's language.
Yeah, well, they want us to know certain things, and we're only going to know that from what we get from the signal. So trying to learn something from people that have been exposed to it and species that have been exposed to it isn't going to help, because we're all going to have just what they want us to have as far as knowledge is concerned.
Yeah. Nasty below us. Looks like a boss.
It's a space butthole.
We're going to go platform to platform, so we're hiding.
And grab.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing on this platform. No, this is new. It's a floating bowl with massive tentacles. It's dead now.
It shoots out the projectiles that Space Butthole did, but beyond that...
I wonder if this is the alien predecessor that evolved into the space buttholes for human tissue instead.
Damn Space Butthole.
Yeah, it's your channel, it's your term, I'll roll it.
It's not my turn.
You invented it.
I did not, actually. Another Dr. Earl Serrano. When I first saw the city, I was amazed at the statuary. They're everywhere you look, clustered together, integrated into the architecture. It wasn't until I studied them more closely that I understood. They're not statues at all, but the remains of this once great species. Oh, so I was right? I didn't think they got that big. Willing or not, they have become an integral part of a machine of staggering complexity. They've literally paid for their construction with their very lives. How the fuck? Damn. Those are some big fuckers. So these necromorphs we're seeing then, are they just smaller smaller?
They could be the adolescents of the species.
Jeez. That's their babies.
And the bigger ones we're seeing are the bigger. But then again, even with the humans, we've seen bigger versions that are just more tissue clustered before it decided to become a different thing.
True.
So it could be any combination.
Should we go through here? Is there anything farther down?
We can't go further down. There's the zero-G rails.
Okay.
Exiting zero gravity.
That's very green.
That's not creepy at all.
Looks fine to me.
Totally petrified. That's an actual alien. That's not a necrode.
Yeah. Even the necrode ones, though, they don't look that much different from the original.
I mean, outside of remember the humanoid ones, the early mutated ones, are still relatively human. We just don't see their face because it's usually behind a mask. But they still look human until we rip them apart. No, we gotta go over there. It's zero-G. I realized that the second you tried to grab it, you couldn't. I'm like, it must be another zero-G room.
Well, she did say so. I just walked off the edge. That was weird.
I mean, zero-G, that would work.
No, I know, but normally you're not allowed to do that.
Tink.
I mean, technically you would have. Another text log. Guess who it's by?
Serrano.
Yep. Some of the artifacts we brought up for examination were covered in what I can only describe as fossilized carbuncles. We thought they were inert, having been dead for potentially millions of years, but while they were in anti-grav transit, some of the growths broke off. When crews went back to retrieve them, they discovered several large pods affixed to the walls, presumably incubating something within. When approached, they cracked open and what spilled out was horrifying. We lost several of our crew that day. The creatures have since been shut up in the transport shaft. Oh fuck, they're still in there. Shaft until we can examine them. The other shaft has been fitted with tripwire devices to deter any other that may have escaped our notice. So if we have to go up the other shaft, we're gonna see some horrible things.
Just to clarify the timeline? Yeah, no kidding. Just to clarify the timeline. Altman, on Earth, stopped the containment, but they never encountered any previous dead came back to life. It was just the artifact that mutated everything around it on Earth. Second encounter, here. Full science team learning everything that we're learning that, we learned throughout the series that we already knew. That, it doesn't matter how long they've been dead, they'll come back. They're necromorphs. Then the experiments like Aegis 7 more recently under the current government before it collapsed. Then now.
Yeah.
So even the experiments were after this and after Altman. Well, all would have to be after Altman.
Why can't we fucking learn from our...
Because they've been burning it to the ground. Even Altman recommended they burn it to the ground because they were afraid if anybody knew it would lead to idiots like the unitologists, which even started to exist when Altman was still alive.
No, I understand that.
They were afraid of that factor.
We had...
No, you're right. You're right. But they were so terrified of the unitology factor. And, I mean, they were kind of right, but they were also absolutely wrong.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't fucking matter because we had at least the government knowing about what happened to Isaac and then trying to replicate it on Aegis 7, and they still fucked it up. And then now, or where we are now, they fucked it up when they tried to burn it all to the ground because it didn't help. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. It just gets out.
Here's a ponder question for you that we never got an answer about. We know 2 million years ago, specifically 2 million, they stopped convergence on this planet. And that convergence would have led to a feeding that makes it sound like this was the final step for true convergence to finally happen because there were enough moons. And this created the carrier signal that went to Earth. Had they succeeded here, would we have never gotten a signal outside of the single black marker on our planet and that would have been the end of it?
Could have been.
Because it sounds like all of it hinged on the convergence here because this was the relay. If this didn't exist, the signal wouldn't have been strong enough to reach Earth.
We also wouldn't have been sentient enough at the time for them to bother.
Yeah.
Maybe we were the midnight snack.
Yeah, basically. You have to be at the right angle to hit play.
Okay.
The video ones are finicky.
Warrior.
Yeah, I think we're right. This is the bonus one. It just didn't tell us at any point.
Warrior.
1 dot down, 1 dot down, 1 dot down, 2 lines above it.
Yeah, why would we be using that, though?
There'll be a code up ahead, clearly.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the word itself. Of all the things to use for code.
To my understanding, even though this is clearly a human-established facility, they're not coding it in the alien language. What the lock is based around is based on an alien lock that already existed. So the aliens chose the word warrior, just like they chose the last word, but we didn't even know what the last word was. We just knew the musical notes.
No, we didn't. It was
they
open.
hadn't even translated it. Oh, it was open?
Yeah,
okay.
It was open.
Be sure to scramble up the wall. That's hilarious.
If you ever played AVP1 and didn't know how the alien worked, this is what you look like.
Or played AVP2 and the terrain worked against you.
Yeah. All right.
It's said that AVP1's the only one... Well, that's not true. AVP1 and Aliens Colonial Marines multiplayer were the only two that made the terrain proper for the aliens. Oh, work right!
I honestly was not trying to undermine you there.
No, I wasn't expecting there to be a million guys behind the door either, so...
There weren't a million. There was 2.
They created a million.
Ones. Well, yeah.
It was generating the little guys the whole time. Really punched the point home with me having to emphasize that last word. You didn't play. There's another one behind it. We really got to upgrade you to the full auto frame. It's more powerful, it's more accurate, and it does more damage.
Oh, good. Oh, they're stuck behind there. I was like, where are they?
I think it's supposed to be a trap, but they kind of gave themselves away.
Either that or they were birthed and got stuck.
No, because they're crawling out of the vent. You're not so tough, but I got a 250 round clip, bitch.
He kept sprinting at your ass when you were reloading.
I'm glad you have stasis rounds. That's really handy. If I didn't need the extra damage, I would absolutely go back to stasis. I don't care if it makes looting take longer.
We got a wub right here.
Wub,
yep,
yeah.
Right, well, I mean, that's kind of what co-op's about, right? One person doesn't need, or both people don't need all the damage.
Yes.
So.
And considering I can do more damage, it's probably smarter for me to keep the damage and you to keep the stasis.
There's another alien translation. Final.
But we never used the other code.
I don't think we're supposed to. I think we're just learning the language. But why would we need to know open? Obviously that opened a lock. But then warrior and final. Final warrior? Because remember, most languages aren't like English in the direction at which we speak or read.
Yeah,
right.
They may not have verbs and adverbs and shit like that. You know, they may not have nouns. They may not have adjectives.
Well, technically, they have. They are all over the place. Technically, they have. What would they be? Chords.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why I'm wording it this way is because at the end of the day, you can always translate human language because, to a degree, even if we restructure the sentences, humans think the same way, even if they don't express it the same way. So the baseline can always be ascertained eventually. If you're dealing with an alien, that's not gonna be the same. Especially if they don't speak, they use musical notes. That's already changing the fundamentals of how they pronunciate, of how they speak, of what their sentence structure even conceive of. You wouldn't even have a baseline to go off of.
The best way to, and I hate saying this, but it is the truth, but the best way to translate between other people and technically we're thinking would be species would be math.
Yeah.
So.
Because math is something that's universal and all sentient life would be able to acknowledge that. So are we going up instead of down?
Yeah, this is the other one, dude. This is the one that was full of monstrosities that they had to seal up.
I was expecting a lot more, to be honest.
I think it's anything past that door. That huge door at the top. Oh, there's something over there. Yeah, get over the thing.
There wasn't for me, but that's probably something I've already grabbed.
It's an alien artifact. It's another journal, and I'll let you guess who wrote it.
General Douchebag.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The signal projected by the markers permeates everything and everyone. We are all affected differently. Some are driven to rage, others suffer hallucinations. Yep, that's what he said. Mm-hmm. And still others fall into a gibbering dementia. But perhaps the most insidious effect it has is when we don't realize it has taken hold of us. Indeed, we show no outward signs of madness. We believe we are following our natural compulsions, and in all likelihood, we will not realize this manipulation until our ill-conceived plans come to fruition, and it is too late to reverse our actions. Am I justified in resisting the urge to turn off the machine? Am I right in believing the machine must be completed to stop the markers? Or am I slave to the very forces that conspire to wipe out all life in the universe? Only time will tell. No, he's not wrong.
Wrong to be afraid about that. Remember the anime? The captain was fine until he lost it at the end.
Yeah.
Some people don't snap until they snap. That's it.
Well, no, he's not talking about snapping. He's talking about your actual just normal compulsion. It's like Isaac thought that turning it off was the right thing. But what if him turning it off was the right thing, and him now thinking that not turning it off is the wrong thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I had said before. What if it's like them messing with him because they know that? But yeah. I don't think that the psychic ability of this life form is that complex.
No, but the point is you can't know that, and that's the scary part. Because how would you absolutely know that you were under control if you didn't know you were already under control? Alright, there we go.
Well, yeah, but that could also very much lead to you're overestimating it, and then you're just undermining every attempt to stop it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's something to bear in mind.
Yeah.
That's not second guess everything you've ever done. It's just there's a possibility.
I think that can be debunked on the simple fact that Isaac was able to follow a, if not rational, effective plan for 2.5 games fine. When the first one he was totally batshit, or was going batshit, and was still able to hold to that.
Well, he was also trying not to, go completely batshit. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it can be fought, and I think the people who aren't exerting, if they aren't the ones that are just sticking time bomb about the snap, they're the ones that are holding it vaguely together. And they're hearing the same voices, they're just ignoring them, like he did with Nicole in the second half of 2.
Yeah,
see,
but
go ahead.
I was going to say, the fact that you keep in mind that you may be wrong, you question yourself a lot. Uh-oh, there's a regenerator to your left.
I know.
Oh, and to the right. Oh, here we are stuck in the center of 3 of them. The fact that you have the presence of mind to be able to question yourself because you know something will be happening gives you a leg up in the beginning, so.
But everybody, even the captain, we don't know what his thoughts were before he snapped. Every person in this universe to date that has been influenced by the markers has seen or heard things. His assumption was, I haven't, therefore, what if I'm being completely controlled? If he was being influenced, there would be evidence. There has been with every other character we've ever been shown. So I think he was making an insane leap out of paranoia.
Alright, what do we got here?
Sacrifice. Of course.
Sacrifice.
I'm glad we're
Let's go get our loot and trigger hell.
Hold up. Artifact manifest.
There's 4.
All optional missions complete. Mark II overclock frame set. Okay.
Okay, I've done all the options before.
Is that something I needed to read, or?
Probably.
No. Okay. It's just, I guess that picking that up ends this optional mission. Technically ends it. There's a wub over here. Let's set this down before we get... Huh?
Are you hearing this?
What?
When I play a log, you don't hear it.
No. What log were you talking about?
It's a log from my inventory. I was just checking to see if this is the one that you had found. It's one we haven't heard together. So I think it's one for the future. So when you're doing the editing, don't have this played until we get to it.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right, let's open it up, like you said.
Grab everything immediately.
All right.
Really? Nothing?
They're going to.
Dude, I'm telling you, if they suddenly have a lock out of us and we gotta remember which of the 3 words, let alone what the fucking pattern was, that would just be evil.
That would be me throttling a game developer. And why weren't those things attacking us?
I don't know.
There they
Answer your
are.
question?
Come on. They're just gonna keep regenerating. See, wasting ammo
pass.
is pointless. Crap. What the fuck? And then I'm all of a sudden up. That was weird.
Because of the fire damage, you killed him from all the damage you'd done,
What?
and then
I didn't want to go. Oh, there's another one. Let's go.
Take your time, I got this. I got ammo for days.
Alright, there's a circuit down here. That's all that's down here. Oh, am I supposed to be fixing this thing?
Yeah, you gotta do the bypass.
I did not know that.
Where's the circuit?
It's down the ladder.
Alright, I don't think I can reach it unless you're covering me, so I'll wait until you're done.
Alright, I milked the machine.
Alright, I'm gonna go down really quick.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm on my way back up. Hold on. Go for it. I'll rip them apart.
Alright, come on through.
Okay, when that one unphases, he'll fall apart because I've done enough damage. Oh, how can they move in zero G? This is going to be interesting. Or are they just going to skip that entirely so they don't have to try to render that?
Probably just skip it entirely.
They'll just be waiting for us at the top, I'm sure.
So, I'm assuming those were the monstrosities that they trapped.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They were able to collect them at some point, but they didn't get the chance to move them.
That's probably they collected them, they stored them here, they were about to move them, then it all fell apart.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems to be par for the course in this universe.
If you're not going to do something now, you'll never be able to get it in all of recorded human history. So you got to do it now.
Zero G landing fucking with you?
Yeah, hit the Windows key.
Exiting zero.
That'll do it. Come on, open.
Well, okay. I'll
Yep.
stop.
Yeah, I knew it would be topside.
Jesus.
Oh god, they blocked the path. We'll use the next workbench.
Oh, why? I need my little body. Let's go.
Well, I mean, if you insist.
No, let's go. God damn it.
That's a bad time to put like 19 things in the bed you can't kill.
Come on,
Oh
get
my
in
god,
here.
that
I
was
can't.
a joke and it backfired gloriously.
I'm out of stasis, dude. Trying to make sure they stayed off of your ass.
I forgot we picked up like a whole bunch of parts and fucking chips and it made me go through all of that.
Ah. So what did we learn there? It was just open warrior.
Open, warrior, sacrifice, and... what
No, it
was
was
the
something
middle
else.
one?
Then sacrifice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there was another one in the middle.
Open warrior final sacrifice?
Final sacrifice.
Was the final?
yes.
I don't remember.
It was final.
Here's a lock over here. There's where that sound's coming from.
It's telling you at the bottom what the answer is.
Oh. Well, and then it went away. Hello? I can't... Can you...
Am I too close? Am I in the
Can
way?
you do it? Because I can't select anything.
I can.
Okay.
Got it.
Practicing your chords.
That's
huh?
weird. Hold up. There you go.
I was just waiting until I got to a bench. I got plenty of singles.
Hello? I entered the code.
What the fuck?
What?
Let's try the code underneath the door. See if I can...
That's the code I put in.
Well, it doesn't have a dot underneath the second one, but beyond that, I don't... Oh, you kinesis it. Gotcha. That wasn't obvious at all.
We're not
Hopefully
going
it's
back,
still
are
unlocked, because we can't unlock it again. And this marker is glowing.
we? It's fine. Now everything's glowing.
About that,
Now what's the worst that could happen?
we could die horribly with our head replaced by a necromorph head. Or at least that's one of the horrible things that can happen.
True.
So technically not the worst, but there's a lot of things you can consider would be the worst.
I'm
So
sure we'll
wub
be
wub
fine.
around here.
It's over here. Got it. The 0G one's the weirdest.
Where is it?
Dude, over here. It was like right when I got to this threshold.
There it is. Yeah, well, there's the inside of Isaac's mask. Yeah, zero
We're into the
G
next
in a
zero
tight
G
space
chamber.
like this does not work. Every time I move the camera, there's something in the way.
I'm just making sure I stay the fuck away from walls.
Ah,
Oh, there's a hole in the ceiling. Here we go.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there was other things that you got that they floated away and I will never get again because...
Yeah, that's the problem, because unless you smack into a wall, it doesn't stay.
Ah, I'm stuck on the goddamn wall.
I'm not
I'm
using a
here.
triple, so I'll just stay slightly dinged up for now. Stuff behind me. And one's floating around at the speed of light somewhere. Because it came off the corpse.
And here. And
So I have to stasis the translator or the door?
it was the door. But anyways, I
Okay.
think we'll stop here for a little bit. So far so good. We still seem to have a bit to go, which is surprising since we were in such a hurry before.
Yeah.
But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed our nonsense. If you did, a like, comment, subscribing, and hitting that bell icon would be greatly appreciated. This has been Boy Lag and Fisco.
Boy.
Signing off.